All right, people of the internet, mighty fine back for the weekly analysis. Pretty straightforward this week. We should be able to breeze right through it. I included some notes on these pairs this week just for a general marker of the current bias on these high time frames as we go through it for you to refer to. So let's start with the dollar, and we're going to move up to the weekly real quick. As we talked about last week, we were looking for an expansion above this high here, and then to see how price played into this pocket of liquidity up top. Both have been taken out at this point. We got this nice fresh expansion and a push, a liquidation of that level there. And then if we start to look at the details a little bit, we can see that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we kind of started a retracement relative to this leg, most likely. And so it's pretty simple, right? We're looking for either, was this a retracement and are we getting an intraday transition, i.e., did we retrace and we're now potentially moving into a new phase of bullish momentum, or will this retracement continue relative to this gray daily trend leg that I have marked out for you here? Anything above on this time frame, anything above this flow high is a bullish expansion. Anything below this daily higher low and kind of major area of daily demand would a break below it would inform a more bearish bias. So that structure level certainly is in play. Now heading down into the 4-hour chart, to get some of the details here, we can see that we have gotten a bit of a retracement mitigation situation here and potentially a bullish rejection from that key level to the left just a little bit. If price breaks above this H4 supply, then we are seeing an intraday transition and we would look for a break and retest relative to this bullish leg. If instead price rejects from this blue H4 supply that I have marked out for you here, we just want to see if we get a new expansion into a flow low and a further retracement relative to this daily leg that we just talked about. So need a little bit more data. Overall bullish high time frame bias, but we're in a retracement, so we're just looking for price to switch flow and go bullish again, and that's going to help us inform a longer term opportunity for these dollar backed pairs. So moving on to AUDUSD, kind of the first dollar pair that I want to look at here. Again, some notes up here for you. Everything for the most part is pretty bearish. Looking at the weekly, right, very clearly bearish flow here, possibly coming back down for a new expansion attempt. The daily starts to get a little bit murky because we did have this daily break of flow right here, which would potentially indicate that buyers are taking control. However, immediate failure to follow through and then a big voluminous rejection to the downside, pretty heavy bearish flow here as well. So daily flow is bearish. It's a little mixed because we did get this rejection from that high time frame trend low demand. And I put the circle here because I think this is going to be the next really interesting retest that we should get heading into this week. Now, remember, bearish bias overall in the high time frame. So if we were to see something like an intraday bearish transition, like this H4 break of flow here, a retracement relative to this leg into a valid area of interest could provide a pro-trend continuation opportunity. It could look something like this. Let's just say that price retraces somewhere back up into this region here, and then you get that, lower time frame transition. You're looking for the lows to be broken here, and then price to retest here. So you have a TP1, TP2, and then swing below that. Pretty simple. If price breaks above the H4 supply, then you're simply retracing relative to this daily supply leg. And you can either be patient or you can take the counter trend trade and look for a shorter term long position into a longer term short position. What a mouthful of words. But overall bearish bias on this. I think if we see the dollar establish, the dollar index establish bearish flow, if we see the dollar index establish bullish flow into the beginning or early half of the week, then we're looking for a bearish continuation trade on AU to at least come down into really this area or lower, which would then turn into a swing opportunity. I'm not looking for longs from this region just because it is counter trend on those high time frames. So keep that in mind. GBPUSD, pretty much the same damn deal. A little bit more bearish, however, right? Lots of momentum to the downside. This last week, we pierced into a new expansion here, but then immediately see that buyers step back in, or if we think about it logically, sellers took some profits. So we may just be seeing order flow establish, which would make quite a bit of sense. Again, we have some notes here for you to go over. This is your current daily bearish leg, overall this big gray box, but this is the daily supply that I really care about here. This is the kind of pro-trend H4 supply from this region here, right? Gave us this last big push. But as we get down into the details, you'll see why I have 2 levels marked out here. So a couple of things. One, we are in a retracement against this gray box here, and we do see that there's quite a bit of momentum to the upside. So we just want to be a little bit careful, right? In order for us to even see a valid H4 flow switch, we would have to see price break below this. So we kind of need to just sit and chill for a little bit. I think this retracement potentially has a little bit further to go, but it's not super high on my priority list. I need some more data on this. Overall bearish bias, that's the move that we're looking for. Maybe somewhere near that H4 supply level that I have marked out up top. It just kind of needs to build a little bit first. So if price cracks above this H4 supply, we're getting a further retracement. If price cracks below the H4 demand, then we're looking for some sort of break and retest situation for new lows, and that means we have to get past that to expand this this trend to the downside, and that's a nice swing opportunity. Overall bearish bias unless price gets above all this stuff, and that's a further ways out. If you wanted to take the shorter term bullish trade, you could just remember that your time horizon probably expires into this liquidity up top. You could have a good trade opportunity, don't get me wrong, but you are counter trend, and there's really just no way to know how long that will go on for. So I'm personally not going to look for the counter trend trade on GU, but I do like the pro trend idea further up, kind of near the 125 region there. Heading into GJ, much more interesting to me this week. There's some notes here that you'll be able to read in just a second. But what we need to look at is that we got this big push to the upside, right? We got this trend expansion here, this big top of the gray box there. And then last week, what happened? Price came back down, retraced, buyers stepped back in immediately. That could be institutional order flow. Very, very, very possibly. We see the price came back down into an important area, mitigated, and then immediately buyers step back in and create an intraday transition. And so our bullish weekly bias, our daily bullish bias is holding. We're seeing a retracement relative to that daily bullish leg. And then on the H4, we're seeing a bit of a transition, and that's a good sign, right? So we're looking for a retracement relative to this H4 leg in some fashion. We're looking for price to come back down and create bullish order flow. We want to see a retracement down here and then a low time frame intraday transition into new highs past about 166.300. If price can break above that, then we are establishing a further bullish order flow, and I believe we are pro trend. We're then looking for price to pierce above the 167.8 region, and then these relative equal highs here to expand the trend above 169 roughly. So long positions are what we're looking for. Again, need a little bit more data, but a retracement relative to this leg could certainly be a very fruitful long position heading into this week. I wouldn't take any shorts below it because there's just too much damn liquidity down here, and my high time frame bias wouldn't be really concretely switched until we had some more stuff. So overall long bias, that's what I'm looking for. A retracement relative to this could provide something really juicy. Heading into EURJPY, pretty much the same damn deal, except for it expanded like crazy, right? Big, big, big push to the upside, same deal, retracement, and then immediate buyer step in here. We can see that we had a daily break of flow here as well after that high time frame institutional mitigation. When we start to look into the details here, everything is flowing bullish, H4 daily. We need a retracement against this leg. We're looking for a retest relative to this H4 flow leg that I have marked out in blue here for you. So we're looking for price to pull back down, intraday transition, establish order flow, and push past 142, roughly this flow high here. Bullish indication. And then obviously if we break above this trend high around 144.25, that's a trend expansion, and that's a nice swing opportunity. This is a pro trend opportunity. So GJ and EJ are two that I am very interested in terms of the FX space heading into this week. And that's about it for the Forex pairs. Gold is ugly. And there's a lot going on right now. We do see that price is kind of retraced against this weekly and monthly leg here, but now we're entering this big bit of consolidation, and it's just dog shit. And so we're going to let price just move sideways until it figures out what it wants to do. We're in a high time frame transitional phase of price action, and there's a lot going on, right? Risk on, risk off, risk on, risk off, geopolitical issues, inflation, pending recessions, COVID. There's a million things that could inform investment sentiment and put money into or away from this safe haven asset. And so guess what? I'm just going to let it chill. There's no reason to be running around with a pot of boiling hot water, right? So let it relax. We'll figure out the next move later. And that's going to wrap it up for the analysis this week. All of these charts will be sent over to the Discord channel. If you're not in the public Discord channel, make sure that you tap in. I will be sending the charts out for this week. This video goes there first, and then it comes out to YouTube for the rest of you guys. If you have any questions or if this helped you in any way, please give this a thumbs up. It helps other people see the video. Drop a comment below, show people that I'm the real deal. Because, you know, I'm out here trying to help people. I really am. If you want to learn more about what I do and how I do it, doors are still open at mightyfinefx.com, always will be. I offer everything from a direct one-on-one mentorship where I really kind of hold your hand and help you through everything, fast track you, or you can just join the community and you'll still get tons of love and attention and support from me as an educator. And if you don't want any of those options, awesome, no problem, no skin off my back. Keep tuning in here week to week. I will be dropping stuff. I'm putting Instagram breakdowns up. You also get that version on Discord in full chart sizes. So tap into these free resources that I am providing for everybody. And until next week, have fun, be smart, and trade safe. Mighty Fine out.